So in this class I'm going to explain about the first carbohydrate metabolic pathway, that is glycolysis pathway, because the glycolysis is one of the important pathway for the energy productions. Okay. um, so what is glycolysis? So the glycolysis also referred as a EMP pathway. So EMP means Embden Meyerhof Parnas pathway. So the glycolysis otherwise is called as EMP pathway. So what is exactly happen means, actually it is a sequence of reactions, glucose or glucagon. Once the glucose is converted into the product, that product is either pyruvate or lactate. So based upon the oxygen availability, the product may differ. So the glucose is converted into pyruvate or lactate, means that's a cyclic glycolysis. Otherwise we can say that in glycolysis process, the glucose, the starting material, it's converted into the pyruvate or lactate as a end product. So where is this glucose is obtained? So either from our direct food sources, otherwise in our body we have already stored the glycogen as a storage material, otherwise depot of glucose. So when our body in starving condition, the glycogen is going to degrade, that time is going to release more amount of glucose. That means the glycogen is going to break down into small free molecule as a glucose. That glucose is give the energy for each and every cells. So how means it's going to under the metabolic pathway, the glycolysis pathway. So the glucose is converted into the pyruvate. So during the pathway, it's release more amount of energy. That energy has been utilized for the cell activity or utility. Okay. So normally the reaction, yeah. So the normally glycolysis reaction has been divided into three different phases. The first one is energy investment phase, otherwise priming stage. The first stage is energy investment phase. The term itself is going to denote some of the energy is going to invest into the phase. Then only the process is going to start. So otherwise it's called as priming stage. Priming means everything is a starting material, is called as primer. So the priming stage for the glycolysis. So the second phase is splitting phase. In this phase, your glucose molecule is going to split it into two molecules. So that phase is called as splitting molecules. The third one is energy generation phase. Actually, exactly the energy has been obtained from this phase. So the glycolysis can divide into three phases: energy investment phase, splitting phase, and energy generation phase. Okay. So this is a overall diagram. So from this diagram you can understand the starting material is the starting material is glucose, the end material is pyruvate. So the pyruvate, it's converted into the lactate with presence of lactate dehydrogenase and based upon the oxygen availability. So that's a final step. So the glucose is converted into the pyruvate. It has been divided into three different phases: energy investment phase, splitting phase, and energy generation phase. Okay. So as per your syllabus, otherwise as per your capability, you can write either this pathway, otherwise the same pathway I have mentioned in chemistry step wise. So what is exactly glucose structure, how it's going to metabolize, how it's going to convert it into the end product, each and every step has been demonstrated based upon the chemistry structure wise. So based upon your capability, you can write either this pathway, otherwise chemistry pathway, whatever it is, the thing is same. Okay. So if you are writing chemistry wise, chemistry structure wise, means it's give more marks, otherwise it's given the idea for you are more clear. Okay. Those who are feeling difficulty to write the chemistry structure, at least you can write these names and what are the enzymes involved, the what is the reaction, it is a single reaction, otherwise it's a double reaction, that means it's a reversible reaction. Those things you can clearly understood and clearly memorize. You can write without mistakes, that give you more marks. Okay. So I can explain from each and every step. So this is the overall pathway. You no need to write all those things. I can share this slide so you can utilize, otherwise you can refer the so many textbooks. In the textbooks is available this pathway. So we say the glucose is a starting raw material. So the glucose is first is obtained, otherwise is get from the our direct food. That's one possible way. Otherwise, from the glycogen storage, we know that the glycogen is a depot of glucose. The glucose, it's going to condensed form of material is called as glycogen. Otherwise, the glycogen is concentrated form of glucose. You just imagine like that. So when our body needs without food, means during starvation condition, the time the glycogen is going to break down, it's going under the glycogenolysis. The process is called as glycogenolysis. The breakdown of glycogen, it's called as glycogenolysis. The time the condensed form, that means the concentrated form of glycogen is going to break down into free glucose. Okay, so that process is called as glycogenolysis. The same time, another possible reaction is there when the excess amount of glucose is there. Na, that time the glucose 6 phosphate, that's it, that means it's enter the metabolic reactions. So the glucose 6 phosphate, it's also is converted into the glycogen. The process called as glycogenesis. So this is a biological conditions based upon your glucose level. When it's low, that time it's undergone the glycogenolysis, produce more amount of glucose. Otherwise, when it's excess, that time the glucose 6 phosphate is converted into the glycogen. So it is going to our normal biological process. But in this process, so many enzymes then hormones it's involved. Particularly the glucose is converted into the glycogen. The glucose conversion, glucose into glucose 6 phosphate conversion, it's the essential enzyme is hexokinase or glucokinase. These are the enzyme is responsible for the conversion of glucose into glucose 6 phosphate. This is the first conversion. So the hexokinase or glucokinase has been controlled, otherwise regulated by insulin. That is important one. So the glucose is converted into the glucose 6 phosphate. That's the first reaction. The enzyme responsible one is hexokinase or glucokinase. That enzyme has been regulated by the enzyme has been regulated by the insulin. That's a first step. The next, this you can see here, this reaction is a single reaction. That means it's an irreversible reaction. Once glucose is converted into glucose 6 phosphate, it's never come back. The glucose 6 phosphate, either it's undergone the two way. One is converted into the fructose 6 phosphate, otherwise is entered into the glycogenesis process. The only two possible ways there, but it's never come back into free glucose. Okay, so that is a irreversible reaction. You can see here this entire reaction. This is one, then this reaction, pyruvate reaction and fructose 6 phosphate. This is here 2, this is 3. These are the three reaction. It's a irreversible reaction. That means once it's converted into the next step, it's never come back into previous one. Okay, so the first glucose is converted into the glucose 6 phosphate with presence of glucose enzyme, hexokinase enzyme or glucokinase enzyme. After that, with the help of phosphohexase or isomerase enzyme, it's converted into the fructose 6 phosphate. It's a interconvertible reactions. Okay, so the glucose 6 phosphate is converted into fructose. You simply memorize that glucose converted to glucose 6 phosphate. How? Here the phosphate group is going to addition. How it's going to get the phosphorylation happen means it's donated by the ATP. So we know that ATP is one of the high energy rich compounds. So it's going to donate the phosphate group. So the glucose is get the phosphorylated, it's converted into the glucose 6 phosphate. So the ATP is going to down regulated into ADP. Adenosine triphosphate is converted into ADP, adenosine diphosphate. So after that, the glucose 6 phosphate, it's converted into fructose 6 phosphate. It's a chemical reactions happen, it's converted into the fructose 6 phosphate. After that, another one phosphorylation is happen with get the phosphate group from the same ATP with the help of phosphofructokinase. This is the second reaction. It's a irreversible reaction. So the fructose 6 phosphate, it's converted into the fructose 1,6 biphosphate. Bi means 2 phosphorylated group. So fructose 6 phosphate, it's converted into fructose 1,6 biphosphate with the help of phosphofructokinase. So here you can see here up to this step, this is called as energy investment phase, because here two steps in two reactions the phosphorylation is happen. The first reaction is glucose to glucose 6 phosphate, the second one is fructose 6 to phosphate to fructose 1,6 biphosphate. So here in two steps the energy is invested, two phosphorylated groups are invested into the starting material, then only it's converted into the this stage. So this phase up to this phase is called as energy investment phase or priming stage. Okay, after that the fructose 1,6 phosphate it's undergone the splitting phase, that means it's splitted into two different molecules. So as chemistry wise you can see in next slide, chemistry wise up to fructose 1,6 phosphate it's a 6 carbon molecule. So it's having a same glucose is a 6 carbon molecule, the same structure is going to follow. But when this come across this phase, splitting phase, the 6 carbon atom has been divided or splitted into splitted into 2 3 carbon molecules. The one is dihydroxyacetone phosphate and glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. Okay, so 2 phosphate group is there and 6 carbon molecule is there. So it has been splitted into two molecules of 3 carbon substances. One is dihydroxyacetone and glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. This reaction also it's an interconversible reaction, that means a reversible reaction is going to continuously is going to conversion into starting material and the end product. Okay, so this is a splitting phase. Once the splitting phase is over, actually here itself the exact energy production or energy generation phase has been started. So from the glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate it's converted into 1,3 biphosphoglycerate with the help of glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate dehydrogenase enzyme. So with the help of dehydrogenase enzyme and NADH, it's an energy donor. So it's converted into 1,3 biphosphoglycerate. After that, it's going to release the ATP because energy is actually obtained from this step. Okay, so energy is obtained from this step. So with it's converted into 3 phosphoglycerate. Here 2 biphospho is there, so one phosphate group is going to release energy is released, so it's down related into 3 phosphoglycerate with the help of phosphoglycerate kinase enzyme. So 3 glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate is converted into 1,3 phosphoglycerate, then phosphoglycerate kinase enzyme it's further converted into 3 phosphoglycerate, then once again it's going to convert into 2 phosphoglycerate with the help of phosphoglyceromutase enzyme. So that enzyme is responsible for the conversion of 3 phosphoglycerate to 2 phosphoglycerate. After that it's converted into the phosphoenol pyruvate. This is another one important step because after that this reaction is same irreversible reactions. From the 2 phosphoglycerate enzyme, the enolase enzyme it's responsible for conversion of phosphoenol pyruvate. Then it's going to release the water molecule also, free water molecule also. From the phosphoenol pyruvate enzyme, at last the pyruvate kinase enzyme is a responsible substance, its conversion of phosphoenol pyruvate into pyruvate. Here itself the energy is going to release. So this reaction from the glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate to up to pyruvate, you can see here 2 ATP molecules is going to energy is produced. So once pyruvate is formed, based upon availability of oxygen molecule, it's converted into lactate with the help of lactate dehydrogenase enzyme. So this is a complete reaction. Once the glucose is converted into the pyruvate, then it's converted into the lactate. So it's we have seen it's based upon the 3 different phases. What are the enzymes has been involved? So this is a complete reactions from the starting to end. So the first one is glucose. It's converted into the glucose 6 phosphate with the help of hexokinase enzymes. The glucose is getting from the glycogenolysis process, otherwise food. The once the glucose 6 phosphate, it's fine. Next is converted into the fructose 6 phosphate with the help of phosphohexase enzymes. Once the fructose 6 phosphate is happen, once again it's get the ATP from the phosphorylated, it's converted into the fructose 1,6 phosphate So this this stage is called as energy investment phase. After that, in splitting phase, the fructose 1,6-phosphate it's split into 2,3 carbon atom molecules, dihydroxyacetone and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So it's also interconvertible reactions. Once this glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, it's converted into the 1,3-phosphoglycerate with the help of dehydrogenase enzymes. Once again, it's converted into the 3-phosphoglycerate enzyme with the help of phosphoglycerate kinase. Then it's converted into the 2-phosphoglycerate. Then finally, it's converted into the phosphoenol pyruvate. Up to that, this entire reaction is interconvertible reaction. The last one is phosphoenol pyruvate. It's converted into the pyruvate with the help of pyruvate kinase enzymes. So hexokinase enzyme and fructose phosphofructose kinase and pyruvate kinase enzymes. These are the three enzymes is going to catalyze the only forward reaction. That means it's irreversible reaction. The entire reactions never come back to previous step. So apart from these three steps, all the reactions, the interconvertible reactions, these reactions has been helpful for the that means gluconeogenesis process. So this entire irreversible pathway is going to stop the gluconeogenesis pathway. So what are the reactions? Is a reversible reactions that is beneficial for the gluconeogenesis process. So the next one is we have seen the same glycolysis pathway based upon the chemistry wise. So you can see here, this is a glucose molecule, but in different format. So normally we know that the glucose is actually it's a steric compounds. It's called as enantiomer. Enantiomer is nothing but it's having a both dextrorotatory and levorotatory forms, isoforms are available. So what's the difference means? You can see that this is a hydroxyl group, that is difference. So based upon this hydroxyl group arrangements, it has been divided into the either it's a D-glucose or L-glucose. So for this reactions, for next chemistry wise reactions, you can remember this structure. This is a normal glucose structure. You can see here, this 3 carbon atom is has been mentioned as a blue color, highlighted in a blue color. This 3 carbon atom is has been highlighted into green color. Okay, so that's a difference. So this is actually a chemistry wise reactions, the same reactions what we have seen in the text format, the same reactions has been written in structure wise. Okay, you can see here, this is a energy investment base up to glucose to fructose 1,6-phosphate. It's called as energy investment base. After that, the 6 carbon molecule substance, the energy compounds, the fructose 1,6-phosphate has been splitted into 2,3 carbon molecules, the same dihydroxyacetone phosphate and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. This reaction is called as splitting phase. This up to this one, this is called as energy investment phase. So after that splitting phase, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, it's converted into the pyruvate. It's undergone the various reactions. So in this reaction, we already know that the hexokinase mediated pathway, otherwise phosphofructokinase mediated pathway, then finally pyruvate kinase mediated pathway. These are the 3 pathways are irreversible pathway. That means once this carry out the reaction means the product is never come back to previous substrate. But in apart from these 3 places, you can see here the phosphoenol pyruvate, it's come back into 2-phosphoglycerate. That's a possible. So apart from these 3 things, all the reaction has been reversible reactions. So it's very difficult to understand, very difficult to practice. You have only choice continuously practice to draw this structure. Okay, so for the simple animation I can explain for easy understanding purpose. So you can see here, this is the first starting material, glucose material. We know that it's having 3 carbon molecule is highlighted as a blue color and 3 carbon molecule is denoted as a green color. Okay, so you can see here the first step is a hexokinase mediated enzymes. The hexokinase and it's going to donate the ATP. It's get the ATP from phosphorylations happen. So the phosphate group is obtained from the ATP. Otherwise, ATP is going to donate the phosphorylate group towards the glucose. So it's converted into the glucose 6 phosphate. You can see here the entire cyclic structure it has been comes to state form. So the phosphorylation, exactly the phosphorylations happen on this group. Okay, so exactly the phosphorylation is going to happen on this place. So the phosphate group is going to attach with this place, so the structure is become like that. So here only one phosphorylation is happen. So simply the glucose is converted into the glucose 6 phosphate. Okay, so the second step, with the help of phosphoglucose isomerase enzyme, it's converted into the fructose 6 phosphate. Okay, this is a interconvertible reactions. For animation I have made some mistakes, so it's an interconvertible reaction. So the glucose 6 phosphate it's converted into fructose 6 phosphate. What's a structural difference means, you can see here. So this OH group here, the OH group is going to this place. So the ketone group O group is going to the 5th carbon molecule. So it's an interconvertible reaction. Simply the hydroxyl group, the oxygen ketone group is going to conversion from the 6th place to 5th place. That's a reaction. That's a simple step. So the hydroxyl group 5th from the 5th place is converted into is going to the 6th carbon molecule. So the structure wise is different from the glucose 6 phosphate to fructose 6 phosphate. That's only difference. Okay, next step, the fructose 6 phosphate, once again it's get the phosphate group from the ATP. So it's converted into the fructose 1,6 biphosphate. We know that it's a phosphorylation happen, it's going to get the phosphate group from the ATP. So from this structure we know that it's going to addition of one phosphate. You can see here this hydroxyl group is already changed from the, because it's donated from the 5th place to dearrangement, from the 5th place to 6th place, it's a rearrangement. Then only it's converted into the fructose 6 phosphate. So it's going to possible for the further reactions. So this phosphorylation happen on exactly this place. You can see here the fructose 1,6 phosphate, it's nothing difference. Addition in first carbon atom, the phosphorylation is going to happen. This is a 6th carbon atom, so it's called as fructose 6 phosphate. This is first carbon atom, so it's a phosphorylation happen on the first carbon atom, so it is converted into the fructose 1,6 phosphate. So up to this step it's called as energy investment phase. Okay, 2 phosphate group is going to addition into the reaction. So next it's a splitting phase. Here you can see here 6 carbon atom is there and 2 phosphate group is there. So this fructose 1,6 biphosphate it's going to split into 2,3 carbon molecules. 2,3 carbon molecules. You can see here one is dihydroacetone phosphate, another one is glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. Nothing. Exactly the splitting is happen on this place. So this 3 carbon molecule you can see here structure wise is nothing difference. Only you have to cleave the structure. So it's cleave the structure, the upper part, this 3 carbon, 1 to 3 carbon molecule is going to one side. It is called as dihydroacetone phosphate, because of this ketone group it's called as dihydroxyacetone phosphate. This 4 and 5, 6 carbon molecule it's going to, it's called as glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. So this reaction is called as splitting phase. After that it's exactly is going to the energy generation phase. So once the glyceraldehyde phosphate it's further it's converted into the, we know that it's converted into the 1,3 biphosphoglycerate. Okay, so you can see here only one phosphate group is there. So same thing, NADH with phosphate group donate is involved into the reactions with the help of dehydrogenase enzyme. Simply from this name you can write dehydrogenase enzymes. Here the 2 molecule is going to involve. Okay, so addition of another one phosphate group from the first carbon molecule, instead of this hydrogen atom one phosphorylated group is going to join, so it is called as 1,3 biphosphoglycerate. This is a 3 phosphate group, glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate, because the phosphate group is present on the 3rd position. Another one addition of phosphate would happen on the 1st position, so it is called as 1,3 by phosphoglycerate. Then next step we know that it's going to relieve the another one phosphate group. So, okay. So here exact energy is going to generated because it's going to produce one phosphate group. It's going to release the one phosphate group. That phosphate group is useful for the generation of ATP from ADP. The enzyme responsible for this reaction is phosphoglycerate kinase enzyme. So this reaction is going for 1,3 biphosphoglycerate. It's converted into 3 phosphoglycerate. Okay, so nothing but the phosphate group, the first position phosphate group has been donated for enrichment energy rich compounds productions. Then 3 phosphoglycerate, it's converted into the 2 phosphoglycerate, nothing but it's a structural rearrangement. So the hydroxyl group comes to the first place, the phosphate group goes to the second place. It's a structural rearrangement. So the 3 phosphoglycerate, it's converted or rearranged into 2 phosphoglycerate as a product. So the reaction has been catalyzed by phosphoglycerate mutase enzymes. Okay, and finally the water is going to release with the help of enolase enzyme. It's converted into the phosphoenol pyruvate. Okay, you can see here the water molecule where it is going to get exactly here. Hydroxyl group is there. So the hydroxyl group is going to, it's relieved as a water molecule. Okay, so with the help of enolase enzyme, this 2 phosphoglycerate is converted into the PEP, phosphoenol pyruvate. So at last this phosphate group, it's also is going to donate for the generation of energy rich compounds, that means ATP generation. ATP is get the phosphate group, so it's converted into the ATP. Finally it's convert form a pyruvate. Okay, so from the pyruvate, based upon the availability of the oxygen, so anaerobic and aerobic conditions, based upon that it's converted into the lactate. So this is the entire reaction is called as glycolysis. So structure wise is not a complicate. Once you just understand the concept, for understand the concept you just memorize the first reactions, naming reactions. So what is exactly conversion is happen in the glycolysis process. Once you understand the concept, chemistry wise, once you memorize the single structure, that's enough. From this structure you understand what is exactly happen for next, means you can simply rearrange the structure. Okay, that is very easy. Don't make it more complicated. It's very easy once you get practice. Okay, so this is the glycolysis process. So this is a this is a next slide, entire overview of glycolysis. You can see here, this is a glycogen is a raw material. It's a 6 carbon molecules of glucose. It's n number of glucose. So it's a condensed form of glucose. So otherwise as a starting material is glucose. So it's converted into the hexophosphate. Then it's converted, you can see here 6 carbon molecule. Then it's going to split it into 3 carbon molecules. Then finally it's converted into the 3 carbon molecules of pyruvate. Then it's converted into lactate based upon the availability of oxygen and conditions. You can see here the glycolysis condition. So once this pyruvate is formed, it's an interconvertible form. It's available in the both keto and ketoenol formation. So it's available in enol form and keto form. Nothing but it's you can see that this hydroxyl group is a alkyl group is there, so it is called as enol form. Here the keto group is there, so it is called as keto form. So once this reaction pyruvate is formed, it's converted into the lactate with the help of lactate dehydrogenase enzymes. So this is the entire overview of glycolysis. So that's all. So here itself I can wind up the session. So in next class we can discuss about the next pathway. So that's all.